Welcome to the Denise Hill Experience with stories and interviews that educate, inspire, and encourage. Now, here's your host, Denise Hill.
Hey family, it's your girl Denise Hill. Thank you so much for joining me to share a bit of my experience. Been so blessed to be around some wonderful people, have some great experiences, and I got some stories to tell. But today, I want to share with you an experience with somebody that I had that really, I did not plan. It was not anticipated, but God. Yeah, you know, being on radio in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, you just never know who's listening to you on the radio. Could be celebrities, politicians, even the President of the United States. Prayerfully, he can come get some of this Jesus. But whoever is listening, they're getting a whole lot of inspiration, entertainment, fun, and more of my experience as well. Well, there was a time I was trying to give some information about an upcoming reality show in one of my commercial breaks while on the radio in Washington, D.C. And at that time, there were a lot of reality shows coming out. I mean, any and everybody was doing a reality show. Literally, if you had any type of name recognition whatsoever, you were doing a reality show either with a network or on your own or pitching a reality show or shooting one. You were just reality show central. And it even crossed over into the church and the inspiration community where people who were pastors were starting to do reality shows. And so when I got on the microphone to announce this one reality show that was getting ready to launch, you would think I would say, oh, here's another reality show, y'all. Because I knew, some of the listeners were thinking that. But in this case, I was kind of excited about this particular reality show. It was called Thicker Than Water. It's jazz great Ben Tankard and his family. And he's not just having them show all their life and their luxurious lifestyle as a millionaire, the big mansion and the fancy cars. It wasn't just about that. It was about him instilling some financial principles, as well as how to walk with God into his children and his grandchildren ultimately on the show. To me, a great example. But since the show hadn't come out yet, I couldn't say this show was a great example. I could say Ben Tankard was. And I did, because everything that I knew about him was just phenomenal. For years, he had been known as one of those artists that came to town, whether he came as a jazz artist or he came as a gospel jazz artist. He was always one of those people who kind of looked out for the audience and the people who came to see him. And he was very well known for taking his honorarium and sewing it back into the people who came to his performances, paying rents, if it's somebody's birthday or anniversary, just dropping a bunch of money on them, looking for nothing in return, just the blessings of God for continuing to bless him that he could share and bless others with. Oh man, people like that I love to celebrate, because folks can be so selfish when they get their stuff. You know what I mean? Never look back and say, this is the path that I took to gain this wealth. Here are the principles towards what. This is why a lot of our community is still suffering in just basic wealth principles and how to create a legacy for our generations to come, our children and our children's children, as the Bible would say. But I digress. I was on the radio and I told everybody about this new reality show getting ready to pop off, Thicker Than Water, Ben Tankard and his family. And I said how great I thought Ben Tankard was and that I really encouraged everyone to give this reality show a shot. I know everybody was reality show tapped out, but give this one a shot. Well, little did I know, Ben Tankard was in Washington, D.C. listening to the radio. He is a pastor after all, he and his wife. And what I also didn't know is that his sister-in-law and brother-in-law pastor a church in the D.C., Maryland area. So he was here for them as well. So here's this pastor who's a former NBA player, who's a well-known jazz artist, who's a gospel inspirational jazz artist as well, who's just passing through the D.C., Maryland area, happened to listen to a gospel radio station, hear me talk about him, and decide, wow, in the giving spirit that he always has anyway, I'm going to write this sister. And he does. Like within 30 minutes of me making that announcement on my radio show, I got an email. I don't know how he got my email address, to be honest, because I didn't say it on the radio, but somehow he Googled me or something and got my email address and emailed me and said, I would love for you to come to the premiere for Thicker Than Water in Nashville, Tennessee. You just come and I'll take care of everything else. Wow. And he did just that. I got my tail to Nashville. And it was the mansion. It was hanging with the family. It was being a part of the family. Like, I was ready to tape the show with them. But no, that wasn't meant to be. But the premiere was wonderful. He showed love and paid honor to his mentor, Dr. Bobby Jones. It was just a phenomenal night that I was never supposed to be at, but simply because I celebrated the wonderfulness that was Ben Tankard, genuinely Ben Tankard. He turned around and said, "Come on, sis, come be a part of this celebration." It was so much fun too. And from that, I got to really get to know his son, Benji Rich, Ben Tankard Jr. They call him a lot of different things, but he was a DJ, and he actually still DJs to this day. He has a DJ truck that goes around Nashville. He has a few other businesses, because you know that was part of what Ben Tankard instilled in his children on the reality show Thicker Than Water, to become entrepreneurs and create your own wealth. Cyrene, Howard University alum, had to come on through the DC area and get those papers, that's right. And Brittany, woo, you know I'm a fitness buff, and to see how she has wonderfully taken control over her health and her wellness and been an inspiration to others to eat right, exercise, and really take control over their health. All that's wonderful to see. And the millionairess herself, Pastor Jewel Tankard. We can talk all day about her. But I'd rather you hear a lot of what Ben Tankard and I got to talk about when we finally got to get together for an interview. He's somebody whose brain I can pick all day long. Hopefully you'll enjoy the experience. I know I did. The one in person at the premiere, Thicker Than Water in Nashville, Tennessee. And this one right here. Check it out. Ben Tankard, how are you?
I'm great. Denise, how are you guys doing today?
Absolutely well. Now, I guess I should say Pastor Ben Tankard.
I'm just Ben to you guys. I got a lot of hats, and pastor's just my volunteer hat. But my work hat is gospel artist. Just call me Ben Tankard.
All right, Ben Tankard, gospel artist extraordinaire with phenomenal credits to your list here. We've got 9 Stellar Awards that you won, 34 you were nominated for, 8 Dove Award nominations, and not to be outdone, of course, 3 Grammy nominations.
Ooh, Denise, you got the old bio.
That
outdated.
What am I missing?
Yeah. We have 12 Stellar Awards now.
Oh.
We have 11 Dove nominations, and we also picked up a Soul Train Award and also a Blue Mic Award. So God is moving at the speed of faith.
Oh man, he's moving at the speed of a lot faster than an updated bio. I gotta get that one. I definitely don't want to slight you because you have a phenomenal career that you've had for how many years now in music?
It'll be 25 years next year that I came out of the NBA with entry. God anointed me to play and anointed me to do music, and I've had 18 recordings where God has been faithful.
All right, let's back up a bit because you were an up-and-coming NBA star, and a lot of people would kind of look at their dream kind of not coming to pass and being able to play NBA all the way to a championship and retire and all this NBA glory as something that is something to kind of cry about, so to speak. But you embraced it and saw God taking you in another direction musically, and it paid off.
Absolutely. And, I have to be honest. The reason I was going to go to the NBA was not because I loved God. It was because I was 6'6" by the time I was in the 6th grade. My family was very, very poor. And when you're that humble and when you're that broke, people will make up a career or make up an answer for you. And so people were saying, "Hank, you're so tall, you got to play ball." And I played ball just because everybody was telling me I liked it, but I didn't love it. But I loved music, and I was in the band as a tuba player. When I got ready to graduate from high school, I had several scholarship offers for band and for basketball. And my folks encouraged me to take basketball stuff because they figured that'd be a way to get out of the hood, go make something of myself, become a career, something that can bless the family and the community. So I did that just because it was a money thing, and I still had the music in my heart, but I didn't think I could make a living playing tuba, so I went to the basketball route. Of course, that didn't work out. I got a sprained knee in camp, never was able to play an NBA game.
Wow.
But the destruction of that contract It's what opened my eyes to God. I went to church because I was depressed. God saved me, and in the same revival service, that's what He anointed me to play the keyboard.
He is the ultimate orchestrator, because even when we think we should be going in one direction, if he has ordained our life to go in another, He gonna find a way to make that thing work. And you can't run but so long before you sprain your knee, and it's time for you to do what you were called to do, huh?
And Nisi, to be honest with you, once we think we know that lesson, God sends something else along to show us that we really don't know, because it's ongoing. It's ongoing, and here I'm thinking I'm supposed to be a gospel artist for the rest of my life, and then here comes an opportunity to be a motivational speaker for the NBA. Once I think that's over, here comes the opportunity to be a supervisor. Here comes the opportunity to be a pilot and own my own airplanes and buy and sell airplanes. And then here comes a reality show opportunity. So whenever I think I got together, God says, here's something else for your faith.
So we've got aviation specialists and helping those who are less fortunate and perhaps will never have found their way to a hangar, let alone on a plane without your assistance. You've got that ministry going on. You've got inspirational speaking for the NBA, and you do music mentorship.
Yeah, because there are so many people talented that just need an opportunity. I imagine there is at least 1,000 people that's listening to us right now that are good enough and talented enough to be recording and walking in their own ministry. And so I have an ebook that's totally free of charge. All they have to do is log on bentankard.org and go to our website, send us a request that you're looking to get into the music business, and we will send you a free of charge that ebook that kind of tells you what to do and how to get going.
Our people perish for lack of knowledge, and so oftentimes do our dreams, because we don't know how to get to point A and go to point B and finally finish. Sometimes we just don't even try. And so to have those who have been in this particular industry, as long as you have to be willing to go back and share, all you got to do, folks, is log on to bentankard.org and ask for it, and it's right there at your fingertips. That is phenomenal.
And the thing is, there's no cookie cutter system. There's no miracle plan for how to get going. But I believe that there are no secrets to success. Success leaves track. And God bless you when you leave a legacy of information so people can follow behind you. Only thing they have to add to what I'm going to tell them is double agree. Hard work, faith, and stay patient.
Wow. You know what? Let me play this piece.
And He will provide to me more than 12 legions of angels. More than 12 legions of angels. A legion is 6,000. And God can send 12 legions when we pray. That gives us the call-up power of what? 72,000 angels. One angel whooped 185,000 men. So if we calculate it right, we can call on our Heavenly Father and He can send us 72,000 angels, which have the total butt-kicking power of 13,320,000,000 men, twice the population of the earth. Now, if you can do that with prayer and some angels, what would happen if our churches learn how to praise?
That's Pastor Ben Tankard. And Pastor Tankard, thank you so much for joining me right now.
Oh, man, it's good to be here.
Listen, you and your preaching style, you're not a hooper. You're not beating people with the Bible. You're simply teaching and giving some of the strategies and tools that you have implemented in your life as a witness and a testimony that the Word of God works.
Well, the Lord taught me something a long time ago. He said, Ben, just be yourself, because everybody else is already taken. And I don't call myself a preacher. I call myself a reacher. I'm very comedic in nature. I like to play practical jokes. I like to laugh a lot. You've been friends for years. We're not going to sit in the same room longer than 5 minutes without cracking up about something, even if I'm talking about myself.
Right.
And so I generally try to teach in parables. If Jesus is here now, and he was preaching, his parables would actually be videos, YouTube clips, and movies, because he always tried to paint a picture whenever he was teaching his disciples. He didn't just preach from the word, but he gave an example for a fictional story that had an underlying teaching to it, and that's what he used to paint pictures. That's what I try to do when I'm teaching, and it gets people interested in it. In my church, my youth department love my teaching.
Your church is called the Destiny Center, and it is in, just outside Nashville, Tennessee.
Right, we're in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Murfreesboro, we're like the Mayberry to Nashville.
I had a phenomenal opportunity to hang out there with you all, and the spirit in your church, I must say, is addictive. You really just want to stay there and continue to get the love that your congregation shares so openly. So I love the Destiny Center. That's my home away from home. I've claimed it.
Girl, you don't love us more than we love you. You're just multitasker and multi-talented yourself, and your one-woman play was incredible that you did. You visited us. We are still talking about that.
Oh, wow. Well, to God be the glory for that. But I want to know more about you, Dr. Ben, and Dr. Jules' ministry. What's next for you two? Because if you go on your website for the church, you all have goo gobs of ministries, and they're all active and they're all effective. Where else do you see God leading you two as a couple, a ministry couple in the future?
Well, we try to keep ourselves flexible so that God can continue to use us. We have youth programs. We have entrepreneurship programs for children. As an African American, sometimes I kind of get discouraged because I see more complaining about what's going on in our community than actual action. And so what we try to do is we try to catch this early, teach our children now how to think successfully, how to think progressively, so that by the time they're adults, they're not just complainers, but they're actually getting out and making it happen. So we're digging in as far as we can to increase our visibility in the community so that we can bless everybody that wants to be blessed in the kingdom. We don't believe that God's people are supposed to be struggling all the time. We do understand that struggle is part of our growth, but struggle should not be a career thing. Struggle should be something that's temporary that you go through and then you get going. It's not, if you're struggling this year, you're not supposed to be struggling next year and the year after and the year after. I don't believe that.
Wow. Here with Ben Tankard, and he is a gospel musician, he is a jazz musician, he is a pastor, but now he's also a reality show TV star.
Well, I wouldn't say star, I just say actor.
But it's not acting, it's your real life. The show is called Thicker Than Water. It's on Bravo, and it includes you, your wife, and your children, your blended family, and you kind of call yourself the modern Brady Bunch.
And, people are so in need of positive family images, especially in the African American community. It has made this television show a hit. It's like in the top 5 of all TV shows that's on TV. People can't get enough of it. It's almost like what happened when the Cosbys were on back in the 80s. And there's no acting on our part. They just roll the cameras, and we just show how we use our faith to help raise our kids who are already grown. They're 19, 29. They're already grown, but they're not grown.
Yeah.
So I have to use my faith to help them develop their business and their relationship to serve God. And in the meantime, people get to see the fabulous life that we live and fruits of our hard labor of 25 years as a sports artist. Denise, if I work 25 years for anything, I should have a decent house for the deal, shouldn't I?
Yeah. Something to show for it. Yeah.
Yeah, 25 years, you should have a car. You work 25 years, 16 hours a day. You should have a plane. Come on, man. Come on to me.
Well, the fact that you are wealthy and that those financial components are things that are stressed a lot in this show, are some people are saying those are seeds of that are going to blossom into criticism. What do you say about that?
Well, this is what I say. This is, lack of a better word, it's freedom of religion. If I want to believe that God wants me to be successful, I don't have to argue with anybody. That's my freedom of religion. If people don't think that we're supposed to be successful here on the earth, I say let's just delay this conversation until we get to heaven. And let's have this conversation while we're leaning up against pearly gates and standing on streets that are made out of gold.
That makes sense. Yeah. And we standing on these streets made out of gold and you were broke the whole time, which you probably not going to be able to relate too much. But if you understand who God is, then okay, I'm with you.
If you really want to know, if you really want to know, and people get so caught up in this today, I don't even argue about it. If you really want to really think that God doesn't want you blessed, then you are a hypocrite if you have an iPhone. You're a hypocrite if you have a computer or iPad. If you really want to be just like Jesus was when he was here, trade in your blue jeans for a robe and go live under a bridge. Because if you have any convenience in life, it's better than what Jesus had when he was here, because that was 2,000 years ago. So, I believe that if you really want to be broke, you don't really have to go deep with that. Just stand still, and in 5 minutes, you'll be broke.
Wow.
You don't have to argue with anybody. If you don't want to be a millionaire, believe me, you won't have to worry about it.
Love it. Love it. But in the meantime, you don't have to hate on those who are. There's so much that you can learn from it. In fact, one definition that you had of millionaire is one who uses their talents to affect 1 million people in their lifetime. It's not always a financial thing or you got to be gaudy and flashy and blingy all the time. But have you affected 1 million people in your life? Then you are, in fact, a millionaire. I love that.
I call it an inheritance of influence. And you can do it right when you write a book. You're going to affect 1 million people when you write a book. When you write a song, when you do a one-woman play, when you become a movie director. I think there are gifts in everyone that if you connect gift, you have the potential to affect more than 1 million people in the whole life that you are here. That makes you a millionaire. Whether you get any money out of it, that's between you and the operation that you take. But no matter what type of record you're at, God loves you and the Tankers love you.
Wow. Well, I received all of that you said. The director, the movie, the book deal, all that. Thank you very much. I'm going to take that, let everybody else listen, but I'm receiving that one for me.
There's room at the end, girl.
Hey now. That's Ben Tankard, y'all. Yes, I'm telling you, if you never experienced him in concert, you need to make sure you do. Yeah, jazz, gospel jazz, you need to experience Ben Tankard in concert. He can play those keys. What? If you get a chance to on demand Thicker Than Water, make sure you check out episodes old, new, and future. Visit his church. If you get a chance and you're hanging out in Tennessee, look for Dr. Jewel Tankard all over the place. She is doing her thing, to say the least. Everybody's on social media. Check them all out there because individually, they're doing some wonderful things, which means collectively, when they come together, that much more powerful as a family. I was just so blessed to be a part of that experience and to have him as a part of mine. I don't do the big red carpets and premieres, and I'm not the first one to want to jump in front of a camera and take a bunch of pictures. But to have somebody think of me enough to say, come on, we'll take care of everything, just get here. Man, just to be invited was wonderful. And then to sit with him, hang out with Dr. Bobby Jones, and to just learn from him. Not in a studio where people can put on their facade, not with a camera rolling in the background, where people can make sure their face is straight. I'm talking about at his home, at his kitchen table, just being Ben Tankard. Absolutely love it. Wow, thank you so much for being a part of this experience. I loved reliving it, loved sharing it with you, and I truly hope that there was something in there that was beneficial, inspirational, something that you can apply to your life. And I truly, truly hope you'll join me for another Denise Hill experience. Until then, you stay blessed.
Thank you for joining the Denise Hill Experience. For more, connect with Denise at denisehill.com and on all social media at The Denise Hill. See you next time for more great stories and interviews inside the Denise Hill Experience.